win cons. They knew to sit back and scale and clear those waves. But with a different draft here, if you mess up that early game, D+, go to Wonju. So let's find out, Atlas, what this draft is going to look like with how all of these fearless bans, 8 per roll.
Well, there is first pick available for DK. KT counterpick the whole way down, and we'll just have to see what that high-value first pick is going to be. A reminder, the last bans that we had, Cassiopeia, Lee Sin, Ezreal for KT, and Varus, Vayne, and Annie last time around. So far, we are going down that direction once again. The first pick being the Bard, though, was a big one. The Karma did get answered with afterwards, but the support pool, I think, is what has been really shrunk down. I think like some of these Yuumi drafts might start cropping up, right? Like there is still like things like the Zeri, the Jinx, blah, 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 hyper carries towards the bottom side that you could utilize.
With first pick, we often think about, okay, you lost counter picks for your solo lanes. Often that's how it goes. And the enemy team also gets to respond with 2. So there's a lot of weaknesses there in Fearless. But what you often get with first pick, especially this deep in, is if they show their bottom duo, you get to fully counterpick it before the second phase, and that is often incredibly valuable this deep in because we're 80 carries and supports are at a premium. There are a lot more meta picks that you can play in top and mid, but in the bottom lane, we keep it pretty tight. So first pick here is going to go to Ambessa. She's big debut champion here at the LCK.
Yeah.
Right up blind here. Let's see what the response will be for KT Rolster.
All right. So blind Ambessa is an interesting one. It is theoretically somewhat still a flex, kind of, but doesn't really feel like it.
Not really. But it's good that you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Especially in Fearless where we're 40 champions down.
Yeah, and I also think that flex picks are so valuable, especially if you have first pick. Poppy is going to be the answer.
Definitely a very flexible pick in its own right. We'll see what comes with it. Might be giving us some hints. I think the Ezreal stocks are really high.
Oh, yeah.
In this draft because he's so safe and is great in lane.
I'm feeling like there might be a Kalista angle.
There could be.
But not with a Poppy, I guess.
I suppose it could work. You know, it's not as powerful as a lot of the other Kalista.
Azir for BDD in Game 5? Oh my God! The narratives!
Showmaker dare to go for the...
Oh my God! The Maokai Yone!
And the snap lock, like they've been waiting for it all night!
Yeah, and look at Showmaker's face as well. He's like, all right.
This is a classic, and this comes from CL, man. The Maokai Yone games we had.
Oh, yeah.
Challengers with Lucid's time spent there. As the Zahin counterpick for Perfect gets a pretty loud cheer as well.
And we're still flexing that Poppy, so Cuz could be playing it in the jungle, obviously, but there could also be the fact, like, there could, so Cuz could be playing it in the jungle.
It could be support.
It's not going to be top lane anymore, but it is a possibility in that support role.
Yeah, I don't think the Maokai as flexible in that regard. I don't think he'll be being played support, although it has happened in the past. A lot of those items got nerfed.
Oh, man.
And or removed. So, bans here are a little tricky. Like, we're just going to thin out the bottom lane even further, you have to imagine. If this Poppy is going support, then I don't think you're worried about a Kalista lane here.
Nope.
Isa.
Isa. Okay, I like that.
Xayah stocks are way up as well in this draft, I would say.
I would agree. I think Ezreal, like you mentioned earlier, is certainly a huge one to watch out for. But with no supports locked in either, outside of theoretically the Poppy is a possibility there, it is kind of awkward. I do think that KT, if Cuz is going to play this Poppy in the jungle, Kalista Renata is quite powerful for them.
Yeah. But let's see what they decide to do. Because I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves on that one, as the Nico, also a great range support that's left available here. The Kalista hates that Nico, but I don't think... I mean, you can play Kalista Nico as well, believe it or not, but...
Do they just take the Ezreal themselves? That is the question.
The question is, like, KT, what do they do? Because I think they're going to go 80 carry here first so they can hold that flex, ban the Ezreal.
Yeah, they are just going to take it away. I find it interesting, just given the fact that they have the first choice.
Yeah.
And Ezreal is very flexible. It just shows that KT obviously have something else in mind that they would like to play here. Maybe a little bit of added late game scaling, added range. Something like that. We've seen the Azir Kalista combo actually work quite well for D plus Kia in the past.
Is this just a Xayah ban, or...?
I mean, I wouldn't mind the Xayah ban. I think it's pretty strong. They get rid of the Ziggs instead. Trying to keep the lane honest.
All right, I feel like Xayah is the safest blind pick here, and then you wait for support to get the counter pick. If you want.
Rakan is still up. You could also take Rakan.
It's true. Playing Rakan into Poppy also feels a little bit not ideal, so I don't think you have to get it here.
It's a good point.
It works incredibly well, though, with the setup they have in their draft.
Blitzcrank blind. Effort? What? Okay, so there are limited amounts of things that you can play, but blind picking Blitzcrank was not what I was expecting.
It's not a thing. Like, 80 carry counter pick like this is not a thing.
Wait, you could play Wind Brothers. Just go Sejuani Yasuo bottom lane.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, but it would be dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I get excited in game number 3.
Xayah was so obvious, and I feel like they're waiting so long because they're like, is this a trap we don't understand? Is it just going to be Xayah and Rakan? You know that the Poppy isn't bottom lane because the Blitzcrank was locked in. And so, I mean, Blitzcrank jungle used to be a thing, but it's not anymore.
Yep.
Zillion. This is some old school D plus tech.
Oh my goodness.
The careers champion pool is insane. I mean, credit needs to be given where it's due here.
If he locks Taric, what an incredible game 5. But never mind, it's just going to be the Lovers duo there towards the bottom side. And a difficult one to play into the Poppy like
it's
you mentioned already.
Smolder.
Aiming Smolder coming out. Oh my God.
I mentioned it in game 2 kind of as a joke, but you know, it works well here. And this time they can't Blitzcrank hook him because Blitzcrank's on their team.
True. That was why they locked it in. Instead, he's going to go for the Corki, a little bit more mid-game power here for KT. But I still think that this makes that bottom lane so incredibly volatile. The follow-up damage from a Corki, even in the early levels, is going to be absolutely devastating. I think the Smolder would have been a bridge too far. What, you hook them in, and then Smolder kind of like sneezes, and then they walk away.
It would have been weird for sure, but it gives you a lot of pick potential. I am going to be honest, Atlas.
That's good.
I often have been honest today.
Yeah.
But D plus Kia's draft has a lot of synergy built in, right? It works really well. The Maokai sets up for the Rakan. Poppy can't block every angle. The Xayah is incredibly safe. The Ambessa gives you great engage options. It's so easy to follow up on the Maokai ult. I like everything about their draft. I think they have the better draft. I don't think they're going to win this game because Perfect is playing Zahin. He's insane at this pick.
He is?
Like, it feels like KT did the greatest hits draft.
They did.
And D plus Kia have a very strong draft, but momentum is against them. I think so much of this game is going to be decided by who plays better, who's in better form, who's in better condition, and how the early game goes. If KT mess it up again, D plus this time I think have a lot of outs.
I do think that the Kizaja is on DK's side. Nature's Grasp is so incredibly powerful for locking down targets and starting fights. D plus Kia have an advantage in that way, but like you say, the KT greatest hits, see whether it can win them a game 5. Oh my goodness, it's a cheer battle in here.
It's amazing.
Lowpark is really outdoing itself here today as Perfect and Shiu facing off on 2 of their most iconic champions, I could say.
Yeah, Perfect has enjoyed this pick into Sion specifically so much this season where he's just like, no, I'll just outscale. I'm going to skip the early game problems that have in a lot of matchups, and I'm just going to become a big damage threat later on. But his Zahin team fighting has been crazy. He's gotten more than a few solo kills on this pick as well. And so much of this series for KT has been, KT is just playing what they like, playing what is comfort. As Blitzcrank hook.
Another hook is going to connect there. Smash does throw down the barrier. They get the heal as well, but Effort and Aiming both hold on to both of their summoners.
Yeah, they're ready to take this into a larger tempo advantage.
There is only a cleanse on Aiming, so not opting in for a barrier this time around. Wants to be able to get away from this Maokai, most likely.
Oh,
Another one going to connect.
I mean, it's a Rakan, so he can heal a little bit, but they're starting to really get a larger advantage here in this 2v2.
If you hit every hook, things could definitely be good. And the closer they get to the turret, the more effective it's going to be. As Cuz
level
moving
3,
over.
and this could be a big problem for Smash and Career.
Yep, spotted on a ward. That's a great pullback on the feathers, but still, Effort has that hook, and he's not going to be afraid to use it. Flashes come out from everyone. The hook pulls back Career, and the heroic charge to deny the escape. My God, that was beautiful.
That was a clean early game execution, one that's been missing for this whole series here for KT. And they pull it out. The flash knock-up from Effort to start it all off to keep them stuck in. And then Cuz with the pullback there after the hook comes through again from Effort. Went Unsealed Spellbook in this game and Hex Flash. He's a mad scientist.
Oh yeah.
Mad Life would be proud. That was not a rune back then, but I mean just because he's a mad scientist and he's playing Blitzcrank.
Yep.
Cuz comes in here. Flash is both used here. Cuz pulls out the lock-in so they can't actually get away, and then the hook comes through. Steadfast presence there preventing any sort of escape.
Yep, and just actually charging him back, just beautifully done. Catches him in the battle dance, denies any sort of avenue out.
When you look at the counter dive here, let's see if it actually work out. There's a big wave, but they're just being respectful. This will cost aiming some farm.
Yeah, aiming is going to have to leave. They're going to farm between these turrets, and they can do so. Cuz is moving down, though. See whether it's going to work out here. As Effort with a turret in tow might be able to get something here, as there's a heroic charge onto Lucid. And Battle Dance, sorry, the Steadfast presence, fantastic. Smash gets pulled in. No flash, remember, but there's the grand entrance onto Effort. Doesn't have a lot of buttons at level 3 without his hook up and available, but now Cuz could be in trouble. Twisted advance brings Lucid over there as Smash pulls back the feathers once again, and he gets slowed down. Another auto and a half, and down he will go as the Q is going to connect. Career doesn't find the grand entrance as a teleport from Showmaker brings us in. The entire time, aiming is not allowed to hit minions.
He's not. He lost. He's now a wave and disadvantage. Obviously, a lot of minions were lost for Smash, too, because he was fighting between turrets and wasn't killing the blue ones, but it's a 400 gold lead now here for the Xayah in the bottom lane after all is said and done. As aiming is playing on a knife's edge here because he wants to play through Cuz' smash into the wall here. Takes a lot of Lucid's health back, and the Steadfast presence is good. They just don't have enough health on this carry, right? Aiming is doing everything he can. And then as we zoom forward here, Showmaker's prepared to TP in for a longer fight, but Cuz goes a bit too deep, and then from here it's like, well, can we save him? Can we bail him out? Aiming's trying his best, but D+ just very carefully secure that kill and get out.
And now it's back in DK's favor towards this bottom side of the map. You mentioned it already. That was a very short-lived advantage that they picked up. I think largely because Cuz picked up that first blood. So a lot of that money went over to the Poppy. The only gold advantage on KT right now.
Is AP Maokai with first strike.
Yeah.
Mentioned it, but makes sense for the composition and the...
You just make so much money off your saplings,
yeah.
man. It's crazy.
And it's a lack of damage or AP damage that D+ have, so I like the profile pick here.
Yep.
And having a bit of extra damage on the Maokai in longer fights always feels very good.
It also just means that they can't really itemize into stopping the Maokai from doing way too much annoying damage with these saplings.
Exactly.
As he might even just go full damage as well. We've seen like a lot of Leandri's first into relatively tanky builds, but we've also seen some Maokai's just decide, I want more damage.
Yeah.
And that might be where he decides to go.
Maokai's kind of a Lucid classic. Like, he's played this one so much. So familiar with it because it was played much longer and actually even earlier than it was in the LCK in Challengers, where it was kind of popularized. So when it made a bit of a comeback, right? And not talking 2022 like Juhan Maokai, but after that. And I think he's really good at it, even though it has made Kronklet very stressed out many times.
Indeed. Oh, Shiu going to get pulled back by Perfect here as both of these top laners are fighting. There's a Grim Deliverance as Shiu just walks it off. And there's a Public Execution, gets the flash out of Perfect as DK take the Drake as well. I mean, once again, DK off to a great start here in this game 5.
Winning on both sides of the map, getting the flash there top side, getting the Dragon on the bottom side.
All right, there's the ulti, but Showmaker is going to have to go back, but he wants to go back ASAP as finally he does get there. And they did use the wall heroic charge combo set up by the Azir.
Very cool stuff. It's very common, and you have to trust your jungler to pull that one off, but they did do so. It did not force Showmaker to flash because he had his escape there at the ready with the rebind of his soul. Will cost him a plate and some farm here in the mid lane, but he does escape.
Yep, allows BDD to catch back up. That is certainly good news. As Lucid just clearing through his jungle once again. One more camp to go.
Actually doing quite a great job of power farming right now.
Yep.
Does have level 6 first, won't be relevant with Cuz picking this up earlier. Much easier. Oh!
That hook was pretty cute. But it's not really going to do too much as the feathers were laying on the floor and KT having to deal with them. Man, Blitzcrank is such a weird support, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like you control the lane completely, and other times you just feel like you're a complete liability.
Yeah, no, it's very much a pick that requires a lot of fast setup or fast follow-up. You're the one who sets up the engage if you can hit that hook, but if you miss it, it's so binary in that you do nothing.
Yeah.
As Perfect is going to be dove now. Shiu does not have his ultimate, but he has a health advantage.
1 second on the Grim Deliverance as there's the Nature's Grasp as he throws down the ulti, but Shiu's right there to pick it up. And he still has his flash, even after the kill.
Yeah, he didn't need it, and the crowd goes wild again with the Shiu chant as he picks this one up. Execution is calling high value.
Oh, yeah.
High early on in this matchup. And he is just going to clear this wave. I don't think he'll greed for the plate, but he certainly could from what we know. Whoa!
Right, quickness coming in here from Korea. They wait for the flash, and down goes aiming. Not allowed to stay there whatsoever as effort going to pull in Korea, and Korea says, hi, how you doing?
Yeah, annoying him slightly, but that is all he's going to get with his teleport. That was a turtle port back to the lane.
Yeah.
D+, 1,200 gold lead here for Smash with 2 kills under his belt and aiming. And once again, just struggling to get off the ground. Here, this is very simple because they know the timing of Perfect's ult, and it's impossible for him to escape this Maokai ult. And this is classic Maokai dive, right? You just ult, go in late. Didn't even have the turret aggro there. It was picked up by Shiu. This doesn't matter.
And even though they slightly mistimed the Grim Deliverance as well, it just didn't matter as, yeah, Korea able to get on in there. And with the quickness and grand entrance, there is no getting out.
Yeah, even with Valkyrie and Flash, Zyra Khan strikes again.
And aiming, did he have cleanse for that last moment? I think he might have, but I also don't know whether it would have helped.
Yeah, he got
I think grand entrance was going to get him anyway.
Yeah, he got knocked up anyways, even if he had cleansed the charm. I think he's just dead anyways.
Yeah, doesn't walk fast enough, especially with no shoes. Which I don't know why a plane would require shoes, but a snake also requires shoes, so who knows. There's the combo once again, as this time they've got the damage, and down goes Showmaker. As, okay, they're going to see whether they can return the favor here towards his top side. Public execution is going to be nullified by that Grim Deliverance.
And he gets out.
Yeah, escapes this time.
So it's still a gold lead here, especially the bottom lane is a problem for KT, but they're able to get something back. Cuz has 2 kills. I think they would have liked that second kill to be onto the Azir as another hook.
Yeah, point blank, but this time it looks like DK were kind of ready for it, although Korea doesn't look all that ready for it, as they do take a lot of damage in exchange. Aiming now in a little trouble, but he does Valkyrie his way out of there.
Cuz no ulti here. I think trying to set up a poppy dive will be tricky, but
whoa, yeah, the hook comes in. The barrier is decent, but the grand entrance to exit Featherstorm is going to be good. But still, KT able to walk away. They get a lot of buttons out of DK, but they do not get the kills.
They do not get the kills. Smash barriers there. Gets his ultimate down. Career ults as well defensively. As this is just, it's both times, by the way, punishing the unbound.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, if he unbinds, I will kill him. Set it up, be ready, Cuz is ready, gets the smash in. Last time was able to get away, but this time too much damage.
A great read on Showmaker as well, because it was Showmaker setting up, you know, going for the aggressive play. It gave BDD the angle. That's all right. KT looking to try and grab Lucid here. Heroic Charge doesn't do too much. The Smash is going to move on over. Cuz in an awkward spot as the Nature is grasping once again. They get the vision down, and there is a dead Poppy. Slammed back with the Brambles. I mean, Poppy it does take a long time to die. Never mind. Takes out the Xayah before he goes down. And Lucid should be dead as well. Making career on the floor, and Cuz, that looked like old Poppy. I'm not going to lie. That's just absurd, the amount of time he survived. I think everyone on D+ thought that he was definitely dead, as Korea now trying to escape. Effort just going to punch him. Let's see whether he hits the hook, and there it is.
Okay, Showmaker is here. It looks like Effort's going to go for the execute. Stay close to that turret, because he's coming.
Yeah, and
okay.
Smash not able to get there.
Even
they could get a bit of experience, but that's about it.
Even waste some of Showmaker's time, I guess you could argue there.
Yeah.
You made the right call to just send it straight into the turret. So initially here, it looks like Cuz has made an error, right? Because he's pushing into this Maokai. They have their Xayah in position.
Now, why does he live forever?
Well,
I mean, outside of being Poppy.
The flash is kind of hilarious as well, right? Because he's going to get caught by this root anyways, but he's Poppy. He has Sundered Sky. With the 2 kills he picked up, he already has Sundered Sky. He gets that heal to proc, and that buys just enough time, and now Effort's here, and he's just locking down these hooks. Hits the ult on both as well, so he gets the double silence and the extra damage. And Career, at least he doesn't give the kill over to aiming here, but ultimately does go down. Wastes some of Effort's time, but Showmaker is here to try to secure this kill and is also losing time in the mid lane. And he just calculates it, goes for the execute.
Yeah, really nicely done. There's a bit of stress, as you can see here in the KT camp, but pretty happy with that as far as bringing them back into this game. First Drake did go over to DK. They locked down that Infernal. We've got a Mountain now on the cards as these kitty cats chasing after KT. Doing a fair bit of damage as well, as we can see. Cuz taking a bit of damage there. Looks like Lucid holding onto the ulti for now. It's going to be difficult to enter. And Cuz looked for it. Actually not going to press the Steadfast Presence. Oh! There is a gorgeous heroic charge, and down goes the Rakan. What? DK get the Dragon, but they lose their support. And now they're going to have to get out of here. They do manage to do so. Maybe it's like an okay trade here between them, but my God, some of these combos from KT are so nice.
I mean, we talk about Steadfast Presence into Rakan all the time, but what about, I mean, that follow-up?
Perfect. Does he have a flash? Yes, he does. The public execution comes over. But Grim Deliverance is a great answer. And both of them, well, actually this time, just perfect, using his flash. Making sure that we still pay attention to the top side.
Insane synergy between Cuz and Effort this game, though, with the setups we're seeing on this Poppy Blitzcrank, is what we're going to take a look at when we jump into this replay here, where they're like, no, Rakan, you are not that fast. You're not going to get away. We're going to CC you and kill you.
And they let him go in as well, right? Like, the Steadfast Presence wasn't even used by Cuz at that time. Might have had it on cooldown, but I'm not entirely sure. But still, didn't even need it. Just set him up with the Blitzcrank.
Okay, so now they're just shadowing this aiming topside push so he can get a lot of money. They know he's the only part that's really behind in this game. I guess Perfect is as well, but the only real relevant lead that
for right now
have is that Xayah, which is, by the way, 30% of what it was. He was 1,200 gold ahead. Now he's only 400.
Yeah, and this push, all these plates that go over to aiming, those couple of kills, all the assists.
And BDD's lead is really starting to compound onto Showmaker. You know, he's pushed this advantage into an early Nashor's Tooth, and the Nashor's Tooth's letting him whittle away at this turret. And they've kept the mid lane, mid versus mid, for a little bit longer here so that he can continue to push that advantage over the Yone. And so aiming goes topside. He's looking for more plates. He's looking for more gold. We've seen this delayed lane swap quite a lot this season. As we're watching this matchup here, for some reason, I don't think anything is going to happen.
Yeah, not a whole lot else is happening. So we may as well. Shoot, tanking up a bit of damage. Has his Eclipse, which is why he's feeling very happy in this lane. As Effort just running around the Rift. And I was so worried when it was a blind Blitzcrank, but he is proving himself. So far, he's got his Swifties. He's ready to roll. Also playing Hot Rod Blitzcrank.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's very stylish.
If we were going to play LCK Feud, I would really like it if we were to choose between the best Blitzcrank skins.
Yes, that would be sick.
Because that one I wouldn't really know. Like, imagine if they made us do Jhin skins or something like that. It's okay. Lucid taking a fair bit of damage here. All right. Able to get himself out of there. Looks like Rift Herald going over to KT, though. Tempo vibes well and truly in their favor, despite the gold lead still being there for DK.
TP here is perfect. It's just weak siding. He knows the rest of the team is rotating down, so he's like, you can have the turret. It is going to be first brick, but
yeah, I mean, that's a decent amount of money in the coffers here for DK, pulling them back towards 1,000 gold. 2 minutes on this Dragon as well as Lucid on the enemy side of the map with his mid lane and bot lane.
It's just going to be one TP. She was not going to TP to the top lane, so I was going to say it's 2 TPs for losing Herald and just getting first brick. But ultimately, it's just going to be the one. She will have enough time to catch this wave. 1 plate in mid, 2 plates left in top as BD has Nashor's Tooth and Cuz here, so he can actually just get this without help.
Yeah, that is the key
verdict. Some help.
And the verdict is please leave Ambessa.
And now like, where do you even herald? Do you herald bottom lane? Because everything else is kind of gone.
Yeah. I mean, you may as well try and get some damage onto some inner turrets if you'd like to. On World's Your Oyster if you are, cuz holding onto that eye.
I mean, he can definitely use it for a combat herald on this next dragon. It is Ocean Soul with D+'s double dragon, not feeling that great with this soul of choice here. It's not a great composition for it either. A lot of the time you've got comps that are going to brawl or they're going to fight longer, and the Yone can get some healing, sure, but it just takes so long that I don't know if it's really going to be relevant for them. They got 2 strong elemental dragons, though, which will be relevant for the rest of the game.
Indeed.
As well, but you know, if they try to fight here and the herald gets dropped, could backfire in a big way. This game is so close. Even though it's 1,000 gold to lead here for D+, I'm looking at BDD's money.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the fact that Corki's still going to be hitting this 2-item spike relatively quickly, and I'm feeling like this game is anyone's to take. Perfect being behind is natural on Zahin in the early game, especially with how camped he was, but he can still make an impact later on. We'll see if he does it, because this has been one of his best picks.
Behind. But you're right. I think he's fallen this far behind before and still managed to hard carry late game teamfights, as the Zahin can really get some stuff done. But like you were saying before, I think BDD is so much of what KT are going to be relying on later on in this game to make the big plays, have all of that consistent damage. But DK, I mean, it's going to be about Lucid and Showmaker, how well they can work together as effort. Gets a dash cannon out of Lucid.
The Ghost employed in this unsealed spellbook to try to set that up. Perfect's ready to fight.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here as Shiu trying to offer some damage back. Gets a big old shield. And yeah, Perfect can kind of chase him till the ends of the earth. As he flashes forward, gets that knock-up. Very nicely done. Ulti going to come through, the Grim Deliverance to answer the flash out of the way. Shiu not going to get pulled. And now DK looking for Soul Point on the other side of this fight. Teleports for both of our top laners and no flashes.
And no ults.
Yeah, nothing actually.
I don't know if they're coming to this one. We'll see. They're going to make that choice right now. As KT, they know it's Ocean Dragon. They know D+ are slowly rotating over. They can just say, you know what? You can have it. I'm not interested in flipping the game on this one.
And can get to an earlier Elder Dragon as well if they are able to give this one away. BDD has his dash cannon now, his career on a flank angle. We're going to try and get behind KT. And it does just use the Blast going to get out, and this is what you can do, right? With this Maokai, it's why it's so strong. Yeah. The Nature's Grasp to just prevent anyone from doing anything. Kind of like Talia in a siege scenario.
Exactly. You can use it as siege as well later on in the game. If you're ahead and you've got Baron, you could just kind of push it down and say, that's my turret, thank you very much. Lucid may be in trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have the ulti anymore, just going to get thrown into the sky as BDD does get smashed back, but I still think that Lucid is in a lot of trouble. Decides that he has to go back in and will be sacrificed.
BDD does not commit his ult there, so still has his ultimate for whatever he might need it for. I think a lot of his ears would have just said, you know, let's guarantee this with the ult. BDD trusted that they had enough lockdown there with the Poppy to make sure he gets that kill. Perfect getting a lot of money here on this bottom turret that's full of plates, actually. So the fact that they get the kill on the Lucid means there's no defense of this bottom turret, and it's kind of a domino effect where Perfect is also getting a lot of value. 2 items hit here for aiming as well at 20 minutes on the dot.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. He doesn't quite have the transformation, but I think needs only 3 stacks, and then he'll have that one up and available. Effort, a level 7 Blitzcrank, just kind of rocketing around the rift with his little Swifties on. It's one of these champions that can either really be a detriment, right?
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're playing 4v5 the entire time, or you can just hard win the game
and
by landing one hook on a carry.
Right now, I don't want to say he's hard winning the game, but he has made quite the impact.
Oh yeah,
in this one, and Lucid here does not have the ability to flash out, decides to go back in.
Yeah.
Aiming, or rather, BDD does not need to use his ultimate, as I mentioned before. Aiming on 2 items now. Gold Lead goes into KT's favor, but it's so minuscule in this game that I don't think it necessarily is worth talking about. I think it's more interesting to talk about the map control they have right now, the vision they're starting to peel away. The fact that without
tempo vibes
when there's no vision and you're trying to set up vision into a Blitzcrank comp, you're walking into potential hooks. There's so much CC follow-up here. They got the Poppy, they got the Azir.
Oh, Cuz gonna get slammed back. His career over the wall is all right for now. Navigating Rakan versus Poppy is gonna be a difficult one. Shiu and Perfect continuing to fight.
Perfect.
Aiming kind of running around.
Perfect has really been walking a tightrope in this matchup, but it looks like he really understands the matchup, how he's using his Zahin ultimate and stacking his passive early and basically forcing Xiu to ult and then countering it with his own to get the unstoppable and then get the extra damage. Really a treat to watch, but Xiu has also been in control for this entire game. I mean, Perfect feels like he's waiting for his moment where he's going to turn this one around. It's been really, really fun to watch when the occasional weekend that we see is they're doing Baron. They have control vision here.
Yeah, Lucid, he
I
can
think they
throw
know.
a sapling in, and he will.
But they are very late to respond, right? Okay, KT do decide to back away.
Yeah.
Get in there, pet.
I really like just going for it and seeing.
Yeah, because if they do a panic contest and try to go in the pit really fast and mess it up and the effort gets a hook, then, you know, suddenly your 800 gold lead turns into a 3,000 gold lead, 4,000 gold lead in the snap of your fingers. So because they have this vision control, that's what I was saying before, you play through it, you gain so many advantages. And that's more valuable, I think, than the gold they're holding. As he's doing it again, he's going to stack up his passive here and force Xiu to make the uncomfortable decision. At least this time, Xiu has a turret to hide under, but BDD's also coming down.
Yeah, he's booking it with those home guards, and that is just going to be the turret taken down. Nothing that Xiu can do to stop that.
Triple grubs and Asher's Tooth on BDD doing a lot of work, and they can defensively teleport the Zahin back to deal with this Yone if they want to.
Yeah, Showmaker is probably just going to get rid of this turret, though, before anything can really happen, and they're going to commit to trying to take down this inner turret. And they're not going to quite be able to do so, but that is a lot of extra plates going over to KT.
Ooh, they're going to
Teleport comes in. Yeah, Showmaker decided to stick around, and everyone's teleporting. Heroic charge, and it's going to interrupt. Showmaker now, let's see what he's going to be able to do to get out of this one. And the answer is he's going to run them around the rift as much as he possibly can before he inevitably dies as he flashes into the enemy base.
I don't know if that's worth, because now you don't have flash. I mean, he's buying some time here, and Xiu's pushing bottom lane. Does he get the execute?
I don't think so. I think he took the damage a little bit too quickly, and aiming is the only one that gets the kill, but he does still get the kill.
Showmaker teleported and flashed, and like got a turret, but lost 3 plates on an inner in the bottom lane after they got the outer. So definitely not worth. I think the call to double up in that bottom lane push and late TP contest, double TP by the way, with Effort also having his unsealed used in the play, was pretty cool from KT. Finally playing some good macro here, and the final game of this series. Xayah, gold lead, still alive. Gold lead for Xiu in the top lane, still alive. But I'm not convinced that that is going to be a win con here. Oh, the shoe's on the other foot?
It is. And you can see they were distracted by the dragon that was up and available. Cuz is now going to run away from that one. DK are staying on this, but they need to get out as Perfect is making his way over. Smash does have Featherstorm, but he might have to use it real quickly in this one as he decides to flash first. Lucid also doing the same thing, but Perfect, he stacked up the passive and he's looking for an angle. Dash Cannon does get them out of there. Xiu will be able to take a turret. How did DK come out of this on top?
Well, they took a risk, and they were flexible enough to escape once they saw the teleport was coming through. Xiu gets the turret, and this is what happens when you have Ocean Soul. It's just not that interesting. Teams are like, let's just try risky Barons and see if we can get away with it and use it for macro. Forget the dragon. Now D+ are going to actually put the focus on it because they have full control here.
And there is a control ward in the back of the pit, so KT knows exactly what's going on. Perfect no flash, but does have that Grim Deliverance still available as Xiu looking for a flank angle. As now the Nature's Grasp comes through yet again. Cuz trying to get on over here. His career is a long way away from the pit, but Smash does find the pullback to lock down the Soul. And now Cuz is just dead. Korea now trying to hold them in position as well. And there's no Poppy. The quickness onto 3. And Korea just tries to hold them in place. He will be able to do so. And Xiu gets in there. He dashes around. He gets exhausted. But he can even do this tired. Aiming going to be taken down. And DK may have just opened up the game. They'll definitely get themselves a Baron.
Maybe the dream is dead here for KT after a completely disjointed fight on the Ocean Soul where there's 3 different angles they're trying to take at the same time, and D+ are just almost like, what? And they clean it up. So watch how this breaks out here. D+ have full control over this. Career has the flank angle, and they have the Maokai ultimate to just say no. And it's almost like KT took that personally as they try to force this fight onto Lucid here as BDD is chasing this Ambessa and failing. Wastes his ultimate. Now they have no targets here. They left everybody out to dry. And then BDD is trying to kite this one back here, but ultimately there's too much D+ on the chase. Aiming also just left by the wayside here. BDD escapes, but it's a disaster on the fight.
And 3 of them tried to escape, and Korea said, "Where do you think you're going?"
Yeah.
That was absolutely ridiculous. The fact that him, as a lone Rakan, is able to provide enough CC to get them into position. Poppy already dead. I feel like they just kind of ticked all of the boxes in the right order in order to make that one work. It's like Konami code finally worked out here for DK.
I do think KT messed up the setup, but the punish was impressive.
Yeah.
You know, how much they got out of it was really huge. And now D+ have control of the map. Now they have a Baron.
But KT have access to another Elder Flip, which is what won them the last game in a deficit much larger than this.
That is very true. They also had a Sivir in that game, and the Elder was at like 40 minutes. This game right now, heading to really a just over 30-minute Elder, with D+ having a pretty nice lead. We'll see what happens, as that's not the hook effort was looking for.
Yeah, Nature's Grasp comes down yet again. Only really connects onto Cuz, but this turret will go down.
This is the sieging ult we were talking about just moments before. When you're ahead, you got Baron, you just push it down and say, thank you for the turret. And they will get a second one here in the bottom lane, it looks like, with these Baron-empowered minions. Shiu will take this one out, and this gold lead is growing very quickly here for D+.
It is. Utilizing the Baron very effectively, already up to a 3,000 gold Red Bull Baron power play. Still 1 minute left, as Korea starting to play some sweet, sweet music. And Shiu with 3 items now put together. Death's Dance done. And yeah, Showmaker is still really far behind, but BDD, outside of some heroics in the early game, hasn't really been able to make an impact.
Career does flip over to the Locket instead, actually, at the very last second. But he did put the pipes out just to make Ox happy. And
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Did you notice, by the way, Ox mentioned he said effort again there in that last space?
I did. I heard it.
He is psyopsing.
I think so. He's trying to, well, I mean, KT still has to win. They are 4,000 gold behind. They don't have the soul, but they do have a dream. And the dream has worked out for the last 2 games in a row. So maybe that's all you really need. There's
only one
cute knockup from Showmaker. Spots out effort there.
One ultimate here to worry about. It's Lucid. Sets everybody else up.
As all right, aiming, looking to try and catch out Shiu here. Almost kills Perfect on his way out. As there's a Nature's Grasp. DK actually using a big cooldown in order to take down this inner turret, but they will be able to do so.
They are Baron maxing so hard right now.
Yeah.
Like they have turned they've doubled their gold lead from 2,500 to 5,000 off of this. They were able to use it twice, the Lucid ultimate here, to siege 2 turrets critically, pick up so much gold. They did not, however, open up the base. There's no inhibitor advantage to feel like the Elder is a done deal when it spawns in 2 minutes here. It's a very quick Elder because of the 4 Dragon Soul that we have here for D+.
And it's 4 items for Smash, so that is good news.
So many things that can go wrong on an Elder fight. In the game. Like we have a Blitzcrank hooks the wrong person, you lose the fight, you lose the game. Like Lucid gets caught by a hook, no smite for the Elder. Smash gets caught somehow, or Career gets caught before the Elder fight even happens. It's 5v4 because he's trying to flank. There's the Emperor's Divide situation. There's Poppy ultimate where the jungler gets ulted away, and oh no, like now we can't get the smite. Like there's so many ways KT from 5,000 gold behind kind of cheat their way into the Elder secure. So D+ need to do their due diligence, set up strong vision. They have obviously
Maokai does everything that he needs to do.
Exactly. And if he can just keep KT at arm's length with the prio they have, that might just be enough.
Yeah, throwing cats around as effort. He could also create a massive issue for DK. One hook could really change the state of this game, as no GAs completed just yet on anyone.
He's got Cleanse.
Yeah.
One hook man.
Lucid
my favorite anime.
For the Imperial Mandate, by the way. He can now add that vulnerability. And maybe it's actually kind of cool on the Maokai.
Yeah, we've seen this before with old Imperial Mandate on Maokai, but this feels actually really strong in this situation for how well it's applied.
Yeah, yeah. So whenever you CC anyone, you're going to be doing more damage to them. And yeah, you do that a lot with Maokai.
Yeah, he's very good at CCing.
I think he might have every button in his kit that does that. So
he's also got a lot of immobility buttons, so they're going to get some extra ability haste. It's a reworked item. It's cool. Nami fans hate it, but everybody else is kind of wondering what it means. And Lucid's already figured it out.
Yeah.
TP here from Perfect is a very short one to get them closer to the Elder, where they have no vision.
4 seconds. Yeah, they needed to just try and force a positional opportunity here.
Showmaker's going to back and TP in here. This is a small window of time for KT
Does he have
to actually
Infinity
wrestle it away. He must, right?
That might, yeah, there it is. Big item spike here. Showmaker needs to get back to the fight, though, as DK, can they lock down the Elder? It looks like it is just a flip scenario once again.
Like, how did KT 5,000 gold down and get it into this position? D+. They're taking poke damage.
Yep.
They do have Ocean Soul.
Ocean Soul, exactly. That's going to help them out. But the Elder is now under KT's supervision as an Ancient's Grasp comes in. Shiu, can you find an angle? That is the question, as not really a lot of CC is connecting here as Shiu trying to get into that backline. The Emperor's Divide is going to throw him around like a ragdoll, and he's taken out. But the ulti from Showmaker gets him into the backline. He takes down Effort, but the steal on the Elder once again from Kuz as Smash goes into the sky and then taken off the Rift. Oh my God, KT, you just Elder flipped your way to Wonju.
They did exactly that. And the crowd may have enchanted Shiu earlier, but again, he's the one who dies to set up the upset win, the comeback for KT.
Oh,
unless
they can kill this minion wave, which might be possible, as the inhibitor is going to be taken down. Maria trying to get out of there as BDD a little bit distracted. There's the flash in from Lucid. He knows he has to try and kill the wave. And it's not going to work if he just breaks an arm guard. You've got KT's coaching staff already celebrating. The reverse sweep will bring KT to Wonju and a face-off against Genji.
Those last two games, he's really going to be kicking himself for the flank attempts that got punished. KT were ready for it. BDD make.
Oh my goodness. All right. I feel like I just watched KT lose 5 games and then proceed in the tournament.
And yet, we get to Elder, and we get to Elder, Shiu just goes way too aggressive on his flank and gets punished. And BDD just snap calls like, we've got this one.
Yeah, and they were trying to focus down the Elder, right? Like, we can just get the Elder and then we can win. But BDD also able to arm guard, the pullback, like, every answer was there for KT, and Kuz, when it mattered most, had all the smites.
KT just feel like they have plot armor in this one. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just watched a children's movie where, like,
yeah, it's like the Mighty Ducks again. You know, like, Iceland never stood a chance.
But, like, I feel like the adults all knew KT was designed to win in the script, but, like, if you were a KT or D+ fan watching, you were on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah, and I feel like if this was a movie, it's like, well, you guys could have at least made it believable. As it turns out, this is just real life. This is just how it works. And now the celebrations come in from KT. BDD himself very, very happy about it, as aiming a bit of a grin on his face as well. But you can see, it's not like absurd celebration, because they know that their next matchup is against Genji. And
I'm just still coming to terms with what we watched, and I feel like we watched an amazing comeback. We watched mental resilience, we watched comfort picks come to life, we watched KT's greatest hits, but also we watched a tragedy unfold on the Rift as well. Like, there are two sides to this. We saw a lot of the shots of the KT fans going wild after the win. We did not see as many on the D+ camp as Perfect will actually pick up player of the match here. Zahen was pretty crazy. He had a high impact across the series, I would say. Renekton as well was, I think, for me, the big one.
Yeah. Interesting. I actually probably wouldn't have voted this way, but I don't have a vote, so it's not really,
I did not. I did not. I voted for aiming. I thought his performance on the Yunara was what started the ball rolling. He had otherwise a pretty great series, even though like was focused and the Corki didn't work out the way he wanted initially. I think you could go for the Cuz comeback. You could maybe even vote for effort. Like, he had some great plays as well.
Yeah, I actually think